In this video, I wanted to give you a snapshot of what our week was like in quarantine. This is our quarantine headquarters where Cindy and I have been living, and I was still able to fly my drone, which was a good thing. This is the house in which we will be living here. It's still kind of a shell because there were many decisions awaiting us when we got home in terms of paint color and various other choices that we had to make when we got here. I'm sorry that my video is a bit choppy. There were branches that were just above where I was shooting these shots with my drone. I wanted to introduce you next to my grandson Daniel. He's 16 years old. He likes ice hockey and rugby. He's a strong guy. We were not doing very well at our social distancing at that point. This is a view of our front yard, and you see some tree stumps there. I'm going to try my hand at stump carving in one of them, but probably not three of them. This is a view of the east end of our house, and the garage is on this side. And now we're looking at the backyard, our wood pile. Our property line follows that. This is a view of Ace and Becky's house, and I'm going to give you a 360-degree view of their place. This is about where our property starts. This is our backyard and our wood pile again, coming around to our house, the back of our house here. And we do have a patio. Sorry about the garbage that is there. That's part of the signs of the renovations that are taking place inside. And this is the camper that we're staying in. We're using the bathroom in the house because that's the only functioning room at this point. There goes Daniel into Ace and Becky's house, and that's how close we are to them. And I'm taking another shot. This time I'm in Ace and Becky's backyard, and the property line for them is over by the trees. There's a drainage ditch there. This is the back of their house, and coming around to showing our house and my workshop shed there. They have a trampoline there and a garden. That's their garden. I hope next year we'll have a bigger garden because we'll need to have some as well. This is a view from their house to the camper to our house, and that's just another perspective of how close we are. Now I'm standing between the two houses in the front. This is Ace and Becky's house again, and I'm going to take the drone up and give you a view of the neighborhood that we live in. As you can see, there are lots of trees and not so many houses, so it is really a nice place in the country away from the city. The road you see on the left is Refugee Road, and you can see it runs from the east on the right to the west on the left, and we can hear a little bit of traffic from that road, but it's not too bad. It's far enough away that most of the traffic is muted. Now we are looking north and swinging around to the northwest side, and you can see there are farms and open fields, and as we come around more to the west, this is Julie Drive that comes in from Refugee Road on the right, that goes to the right, and if you go to the left, it's Clark Drive, which is the one that we live on. You can see how flat Ohio is, and as we come around to the northwest, you can see a big tower in the background, it's a communications tower, and you can see the farmland. This is a beautiful horse farm that's just next to us along the property line, the driveway. And then we're circling around back to where we started, near Refugee Road, running east and west. Then I took a few snapshots of the neighborhood. This is the neighbors just across from our houses. This is again a snapshot of the horse farm and the lake that they have there. And this is looking down Clark Drive towards our neighbors' places. Now we get to some of the family pictures, and this was the morning after we came in. Daniel arrived first to say good morning because we had not seen him the night before when we arrived. He had been working. Then Elliot and Nathan also showed up to say good morning. Most evenings we have been eating dinner in Ace and Becky's backyard at the picnic table. But it's been interesting that to this point we have not had dinner with Ace and Daniel both there because of work schedules. I do want to point out, as I'm trying to practice my maneuvering, that one of Becky's best friends, Michelle, stayed over for a couple days, and we're so grateful that it happened that way, because on that very evening, Ace was involved in a traffic accident on his way home from work. A young girl, new driver, ran a red light and hit his car. Most likely his car will be considered totaled by the insurance company, but we were so grateful that Michelle was there to watch the kids while Becki went to the hospital where he was getting a CT scan, and she brought him home after everything checked out to be okay. Meet Nate, as seen from above in a drone shot. And now you can see Elia and Nathan climbing up in the tree house that I made for Daniel back in 2010. It's actually not connected to a tree, it's freestanding, but still it has provided a lot of fun for the kids over these years. Now we see Daniel again as he is mowing the lawn. It seems that he enjoys doing that, as it's a riding mower and he can cut the grass and not work too hard. This is a couple of the flower beds in their lawn. The first morning that I woke up and was making my bed in the camper, I met this little fellow. I'm not sure how long he was on my bed, but it really doesn't matter. I just caught him and set him free. Most of the day, Cindy and I have been able to go out for at least a short walk, and this was one day when I was walking east, casting a long shadow. One afternoon, Cindy and I went out to walk, and as we came back, we saw all these fire trucks here. The story that we got from Nathan later was that a chicken coop had caught on fire. It seemed like a big overkill to us that so many fire trucks and firemen were there for a chicken coop, but living in a rural area, they may not get many calls, so they need the practice. Here's a fun shot of Nathan and Elia lying in the green grass of home. Elliot is 4 years old and Nathan is 8, and they were just enjoying watching the drone from above. I didn't get too close to them, but here's a still shot of them. And we're coming up to Nathan, who likes to chase the drone when he's on the ground or on his bike. Elia has a bike too, but she has training wheels on hers. And finally, I'm coming to the end. This is a thunderstorm that we had on Friday. It was the first time that it had rained, and somewhere in the middle of this clip right there you could see a lightning flash. It looked a little bit like a funnel cloud was forming, but it actually wasn't too bad of a storm. It rained a little bit, as you can see with Elia with her winter boots and her large umbrella.